I was out with friends for a night out, and I was meant to be staying at a friend's house, and I went out clubbing in a certain area and met a boy, and we were sort of getting on really well and swapped numbers, and he asked me to go for a walk, which I agreed to because we were out in the middle of we were out in the middle of like friends and didn't really have any reason to worry. And I trusted him, and we went for a walk, and he led me somewhere which started to get sort of darker, and I started to disbelieve him, and we started to walk back because I was worried, and he pushed me into a big park where he raped me.
And up until then, he'd appeared perfectly normal,
Yeah.
perfectly pleasant.
Had no reason to disbelieve anything that he was saying. We'd swapped numbers, we were in full view of everybody, we were in clubs with CCTV. There was literally no reason whatsoever to distrust him because he made me feel so comfortable.
And at what point did you feel things were actually going horribly wrong?
He'd asked me to go to a shop which was apparently close by, and I started to get unnerved because I always sort of prided myself on being quite switched on with that kind of thing. Obviously that night I wasn't, and it started to get darker, and I sort of got the feeling as to where I was. And I was like, this is a park here, there's no shops around here. And he said, oh no, it's just down there. And as I started to walk around what was sort of like a corner which went down, I saw the gates of a park, and I was like, there's no shop here. I started to turn back, and I said, I want to go back. And I wasn't comfortable being there. And he said, don't you trust me? And I said, no, I do. I said, I want to go back. My friends don't know where I am. So I started to walk back, and he sort of picked up the pace, grabbed me and pushed me through like a sort of 5-foot entry into a park.
And that's when he attacked you?
Yeah.
And when he'd attacked you, after he'd attacked you, what was he like then?
Well, he attacked me, and after he just sort of switched and kind of stopped, and he said, "Oh, do you want me to stop?" And I said, "Yeah, get off." And he got off and acted sort of normal, acted like nothing had happened. And he said, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, are you okay? Did you not want that to happen?" And I was like, "Well, not really, no." And then he said, "Oh, he started to feel sort of remorseful. I think he was like, "Oh, are you going to go to the police about me?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm not going to go to the police about you." And he said, "Oh, come on, I'll help you find your phone," because in the initial attack he'd threw my bag, so I couldn't ring anybody. And he helped me find my phone and acted like the most gentleman in the world. He acted so sort of normal, and he even said he'd like take me out and stuff the day after. I'd never had anything to do with the police before, but they were so brilliant. And the same officer stuck by me through everything. When I went to meet new people, when I had to go to the courts, they were there the whole time. They even now, I mean, it's been a year on, and they still call me and see how I am and see how I'm getting on, and it's really nice because, I mean, you hear people saying, "Oh, the police this and the police don't do enough and that," but I can honestly say that with my experience, that the police did everything they could for my benefit. They did everything. They were there the whole time. The two people who helped me, they know who they are, and they were brilliant, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done.
What would you say to other women out there who perhaps have been through what you've been through and feel in some way that somehow it's their fault? Well, they shouldn't feel that way, but what advice would you give them? Because you showed amazing courage.
The feeling of sort of self-blame is inevitable, because I felt that. You always feel that. And even the months after, you still feel that, because your family is still going through it no matter what. Even if you're starting to get over it, your family is still going through it, and you do feel self-blame. But it's not your fault. If you're going out on a good night out, it's not your fault. You're going out for a laugh, and you don't want these things to happen. So the best thing you can do is report it, because if it's just happened to you, the likelihood is it's going to happen to somebody else if they're not taken off the streets. So, I mean, I had to go through 2 trials, not just the one, but the 2. And I tell you what, I don't regret a single minute of it, because he's gone now. I mean, at the time, it was horrible. I had to go through sort of 2 trials, and I was just like, I want it to go home. I want to go home. I want it to stop. But he's gone. He's off the streets now, and it won't happen to another person. And I thank God it was me, and not anybody else, a younger person. It couldn't have dealt with it, because you know, not everyone's strong. Not everybody's strong, and you have to be a strong person to deal with something like this. And anybody who's been through it will know what I mean. They need to come forward and report it, because it's vitally important that these people are taken off the streets. If you have said no, it's rape.